It's a Tuesday. The 6:14 train, or the school run, or a kitchen window with the tap running. Nothing special is happening. And then, for maybe 4 seconds, everything is. The noise in your head stops. The light looks like it's coming from inside things. You feel enormous and tiny at the same time. You feel held. Then it's gone. The tap is still running, and you never mention it to anyone. You've had a moment like this, maybe once, maybe years ago. Almost everyone has, and almost no one talks about it. There is a word for what happened to you, an old word. Its roots go back 25 centuries. Stranger still, the word is hiding a secret inside its own letters. By the end of this journey, you'll know what it really means. And when you do, that moment at the window might make a different kind of sense. Greece, around 2,500 years ago. A road runs from Athens to a small town called Eleusis, and on certain autumn nights, that road fills with torchlight. Thousands of people walking in the dark, farmers beside philosophers, slaves beside statesmen. They are going to a ceremony so secret that revealing it was a crime. For centuries upon centuries, initiates went in and initiates came out, and almost none of them ever said what happened inside. We know only fragments, darkness, then blinding light, and people who walked home saying they no longer feared death. The initiates had a name. In Greek, the mystai. Hold on to that word. It is the ancestor of ours, and its meaning is the secret we're chasing. Now, watch what happens when we leave Greece. Egypt, the 3rd century. Men and women walk out of the cities and into the desert, not fleeing something, but hunting something. They sit in stone cells for decades, in silence, waiting for what they called the encounter. Spain, the 1500s. A nun named Teresa writes that the soul is like a castle carved from a single diamond, room within room, and that in the innermost room waits something no words survive. Persia, 3 centuries before her. Sufi poets like Rumi describe the self dissolving into the beloved, the way a drop dissolves into the sea. And in India, long before any of them, the sages of the Upanishads had already written the boldest sentence of all, that the deepest self within you and the ultimate reality behind everything are not two things. Different centuries, different continents, different gods, or none. These people never met, and most of them would have been horrified by each other's theology. And yet, set their reports side by side, and it reads like witnesses describing the same accident. The boundary between me and everything grows thin, then disappears. Time goes strange. A certainty arrives that feels deeper than thought. Afterward comes the same confession every single time. I cannot tell you what it was. So what do we call this? Not a religion, not a doctrine, not a belief you sign your name to, an experience you undergo. Mysticism. That's the word. You already know it's hiding something. We're getting closer. Come back to the modern world for a moment, because this story has a scientific witness. In 1902, a Harvard professor named William James, one of the founders of modern psychology, published a book gathering hundreds of these reports. Farmers, poets, skeptics, saints. He noticed the experiences left fingerprints. 4 of them. They cannot be put into words. They carry knowledge. The person comes back knowing something, not just feeling something. They do not last, minutes usually. And they feel given, not achieved, as if something arrived. Go back to your moment at the window. Check the list. According to James, that is not a coincidence. That is a signature. Now, the honest question, the one you may already be asking. Isn't this just the brain? A trick of chemistry? A hiccup of neurons?
Maybe. Modern scanners can watch these states happen. Certain regions go quiet, including, interestingly, ones tied to your sense of being a separate self. But notice what that does and doesn't tell us. It tells us the experience is real, really happening, measurable. It cannot tell us what the experience means. The scanner shows a door opening. It cannot see what's on the other side. Scholars genuinely disagree here, too. Some argue every mystic touches one universal experience, and each religion simply dresses it in local clothes. Others argue a Christian's union and a Buddhist's emptiness are truly different experiences, shaped all the way down by their traditions. That debate is still alive, and this channel won't pretend to settle it for you. What's harder to argue with is this. Nearly every mystic, in every century, agreed on the doorway. Silence, stillness, and attention resting on one thing for a long time. Then look at us. We built a world where silence is the one thing you cannot buy back. A glowing rectangle within reach every waking hour. An economy that profits from every second your attention never rests. The old teachers said the door opens in stillness. We may be the first generation engineered to never stand still in front of it. That thought should bother you a little. It bothers me. So, the promise from the window, the word and the secret in its letters. Mysticism grows from the ancient Greek verb myein. It does not mean magic. It does not mean mist or puzzles or secret knowledge for special people. Myein means to close the lips, to close the eyes. The initiates at Eleusis, the Mysti, were literally the closed-mouthed ones. Yes, the secrecy was law. But ancient writers hint at something stranger. Many of them seemed unable to speak of it at all. What they met inside outran language, and they knew it. Follow that thread to its end. The word for the deepest experience a human being can have literally means what closes the mouth. The unsayable, built into the name, hiding in plain sight for 25 centuries. Which is why every mystic ends the same way, in poetry, in paradox, or in silence. Not because they failed to explain, because they succeeded in seeing. Here is where the two halves of our story finally meet, the torchlit road and the 614 train. Picture one image, a door of white gold light standing open. Before it, all of them, the hermit, the nun, the poet, the commuter with a coffee going cold. Same door, different centuries. And the only honest report any of them ever filed. You have to stand there yourself. So back to the window. Back to Tuesday. The tap is running. The train is pulling in. For 4 seconds, the world goes quiet and vast and strangely kind. And some part of you knows this is not an interruption of your real life. What if it is the one moment you actually saw it? The mystics of every tradition left the same quiet suggestion. The door does not open only once. Stillness is not empty. And the innermost room was never locked. Whatever that moment was, it has a name now. And the name, remember, is an instruction as much as a word. Close the eyes. Close the lips. Pay attention. If questions like this pull at you, the forgotten words, the hidden rooms, the experience beneath every tradition, subscribe to MysticPathways, because this was only the first door.
keep seeking.